meteorologist Paul Drews and Diana Coe.
Good evening. Thanks so much for joining us. I'm Marissa Yamane in for Diana Coe.
And I'm Paul Drews. There is a critical shortage of a key life-saving medication used for cancer patients, affecting more than 500,000 people across the nation.
And that also includes cancer patients here in Hawaii. So what are doctors doing in the meantime, and what does this mean for those who have cancer?
KITV4's Shanila Kabir has the answers. Shanila?
Paul, Marissa, two drugs used to treat severe forms of cancer, carboplatin and cisplatin, are in extreme short supply. Some cancers respond to generic substitute medication, but when it comes to breast cancer, testicular cancer, and leukemia, there isn't much of a plan B. With 4,000 new cancer diagnoses every year in Hawaii, there are always 300 to 400 patients actively receiving therapy. About half of them will need carboplatin and cisplatin, depending on the severity of their diagnosis. Some doctors say they are having to ration medication and delay therapy for many of their patients. In addition, some cancer patients are seeing a large increase in their costs. Dr. William Louis says some have bills ranging from $8,000 to $13,000 in just 1 month.
As of just yesterday, I got a email from our pharmacist area at Castle saying that there's 9 chemotherapy drugs that are on the critical shortage list, and that we have to think about either substitution or delays in therapy, or they're doing a lot of swapping and trading, but it's a national problem.
And despite the need for delayed treatment or substitution, doctors are still able to treat patients here. Dr. Louis says the care for cancer patients has not been affected. And it's not just cancer medications that are in extremely short supply. There's a critical shortage of several types of medications across the board. The FDA just released a list of all drugs affected. For more information, go to KITV.com and type in current shortages. Shanila Kabir, KITV4 Island News.
Shanila, thank you. Honolulu police are investigating an attempted murder that happened in Kahuku overnight. Police say a 25-year-old man was dropped off at a hospital just before midnight with serious injuries. They haven't said what led up to this. Meanwhile, on Kauai,
Fire investigators are still trying to figure out what caused this fire in Kalaheo on Pu'uvai Road. 3 people have been displaced from their home after it caught fire around 8 o'clock last night. And when firefighters arrived, they found the home engulfed in flames. Unfortunately, no one was home at the time. Damage from that fire estimated at $500,000. Now to the latest on the dock workers' strike on the West Coast.
Port of Seattle now shut down, and that's according to the Pacific Maritime Association. It says coordinated and disruptive work actions led by the ILWU have shut down cargo operations at the Port of Seattle. It says the union refused to dispatch any longshore workers to container terminals today, and yesterday work slowdowns brought ground operations to a standstill. Meanwhile, down the coast in California, PMA said yesterday that operations have improved at the ports of Los Angeles, Long Beach, and Oakland. A lot of Hawaii cargo goes through these ports. Taking you over to the Big Island now. Look at that, that's beautiful. You're taking a live look at Halemaumau crater, day 4 of Kilauea's new eruption. There are still multiple fountains on the crater floor, though they are smaller than when the eruption first started. The Hawaiian Volcano Observatory says the eruptive activity is still confined to the crater. There's no unusual activity along the east or southwest rift zone, so still no immediate danger to any communities. And it's a busy weekend for Hawaii Volcanoes National Park. If you plan on going, make sure you stay on the marked trails and make sure you bring a warm jacket if you plan to go at night because it can get really chilly. And take a look at this. Look at that. Those are nene checking out the new lava inside of Halemaumau crater. The National Park Service says nene are often seen flying over Kilauea after sunrise and before sunset as they make their way between roosting areas and foraging grounds. But it's uncommon to see them flying this low over the lava lake.
Even the animals want to check it out. Well, speaking of beautiful sights, take a look at our island weather this afternoon. A few clouds over the Ko'olau Mountains, lots of sunshine for Honolulu and many leeward areas. And we've got more sunshine in the forecast for this weekend. On satellite imagery, a few wisps of high clouds have been periodically moving over parts of the state. Those will be clearing out. And then we'll continue to see some low clouds coming in our breezy easterly trades. Winds are up this weekend, and so are temperatures. Those winds bringing in scattered clouds to windward areas. For the leeward side of the Big Island, some afternoon clouds developing as we typically see. I mentioned winds being up. Take a look at some of those wind gusts topping out near 40 miles an hour. For Kahului, wind strong enough. We do have small craft advisories posted around our southern waters. And we'll continue to see a few light trade wind showers, mostly for windward and Mauka areas. We saw a few more clouds and a few light showers for the Mauka areas here on Oahu. Other windward areas, we'll see a few more of those coming in the overnight hours. Meanwhile, the afternoon clouds that developed over the leeward side of Hawaii Island, along with a few light showers, will gradually clear out once the sun goes down. And here's a look what we have in store for the rest of our evening. Winds will continue to be up. Trades blowing in at 10 to 25 miles an hour, pushing in a few overnight trade showers for windward areas. Leeward sections expect to stay mostly dry and mostly clear as well. Marissa, back to you.
Paul, thank you. The Honolulu City Council unanimously passed a resolution this week regarding Red Hill. It urges the Navy and the Department of Defense to test all Red Hill wells and the shaft every week for PFAS. KITV4's Diane explains why a sense of frustration led to the resolution.
They're doing crimes. They're killing our people. They're killing us.
Both the public and the council expressed strong sentiments.
I am disappointed that we have to have a city council resolution to support a request.
The request is for the Navy to regularly test for PFAS and release information the Honolulu Board of Water Supply requested in January of the U.S. Secretary of Defense.
PFAS is a forever chemical. It doesn't break down. It's been known to cause physical conditions to the human, liver, cancer, kidneys.
The resolution spells out numerous fuel release incidents at the facility. 27,000 gallons of jet fuel in January 2014. Undetermined amounts of a regulated substance in March and June 2020. About 1,000 gallons of fuel in May 2021. About 14,000 gallons of a fuel-water mixture in November 2021, and about 1,300 gallons of aqueous film-forming foam, or AFFF, in November 2022. AFFF contains a lot of PFAS.
They're testing their wells, but only selective wells, and we would like them to test all the wells for PFAS.
Although the Navy on Tuesday said it expects to finish by January 2024, Mitchell outlined many more concerns, including problems with the defueling. 100% of the testimony supported the resolution, including State Senator Glenn Wakais.
The Navy broke the water table on Kaho'olawe Island, and the U.S. government appropriated $400 million to fix the problem, and then washed their hands of it. We can't let that happen again.
As people are still continuing to be poisoned, this affects everybody, not just Red Hill. If people don't understand, that's the source of our water right there. It spreads all the way far west to Waianae, to all the way east side to Hawaii Kai.
They just walk us through like little kids and want us to believe their timeline and everything, but there really is no transparency. There's no community involvement.
CR 161 and Resolution 23-70 CD1 has been adopted.
Copies of the resolution will be sent to the Department of Defense, Navy, Environmental Protection Agency, Hawaii's top elected officials, the State Health Department, and the Board of Water Supply. Diane, KITV4 Island News.
And the Navy told KITV4 the Office of the Assistant Secretary of the Navy for Energy, Installations, and Environment is reviewing the request for more sampling and is conducting a comprehensive look at environmental impacts of PFAS. Now, regarding sharing information with the Board of Water Supply, it says BWS, as well as the general public, already have access to all data and information regarding groundwater monitoring. This is in both the interactive groundwater map on the Safe Waters website and the EPA's groundwater data app. The Navy points out BWS is a member of the Red Hill Remediation Roundtable, where it can get regular updates as well.